if you've practiced with me before, you know that I'm going to give a lot of freedom, a lot of space to find your own way. And I'll give lots of cues and direction if that's sort of where you're moving with your practice this morning. But whatever shows up, just keep in mind that, we sort of get caught up in our asana practice, our physical practice with the accomplishment of poses and, bettering ourselves, which is a great thing to undertake. But truly we are here sort of to connect with our deepest selves, right? And we do that through stillness. We find that in the pause. And so if you happen to be somewhere a little different than I suggest, but you've dropped into that sense of being and watching yourself, you are doing just great. All right, so we're gonna start in child's pose. Your knees can be close, they can come as wide as mat width, and you're gonna lay the heart down on the earth. Forehead can land, or if it doesn't feel okay in the neck, you can turn one cheek or one temple to the ground. So you'll notice I do have a bit of a neck issue. So you'll probably see me modify for it a little bit, and I'll try to give you a sense when that happens that that's what I'm doing, so you're not unsure about what's happening. So we're just gonna lay down. If child's pose doesn't work, maybe find a comfortable seat or even start in Shavasana, right? The heart to the sky. So again, we're finding a beginning that makes sense for us. And I encourage you for the first few breaths to let this be all about surrender wherever you've decided to begin. And wherever you are, I want you to think of moving the breath like a wave, right? So the breath sort of starts at the top of the body, the chest expands, then the mid ribs, lower ribs, and then lastly, that deep breath either expands the abdomen out if you're on the back, or more the low back, a little bit of rise if you're in child's pose here. And if you're seated, you'll sort of feel the whole body sort of expanding almost like an accordion. So let's find like maybe 5 or 6 more good breaths here in our beginning, our surrender. And then we'll find each other in the movement that follows. And the breath is going to tell you a lot about what's going on in the body and what's also happening in the mind. So over and over again this morning, I really encourage you to connect with the breath. And through that connecting, hopefully finding your way back to a sense of stillness and calm over and over again. And if the breath was really energetic, just let it collapse here into a slow and easy kind of breathing. And just for a little contrast. And now energize the arms. So walk the hands as far forward as you can. If you'd like, you can even tent the palms, right? This sense of the shoulders beginning to come alive. Couple big and energetic breaths here. One more. Good, and then tabletop pose on your inhale. Right, stay for the breath out. And then cow pose. So sink the stomach, lift the heart. If it works in the body here, open the throat. And as you exhale, arch the back towards the sky for cat pose, right? Nice slow moves. Inhale for cow pose, shoulder blades slide close. Cat pose to empty. Good. Cow pose, big breath in. Cat pose, empty and hollow. Good. One more time, cow pose. And down dog on the exhale. Hips go high. All right, a few breaths here to find this first down dog, right? So maybe really getting active, inner biceps sort of rotating towards the front of your mat, but be willing to soften the knees to find this sense of really lengthening the spine. Two more breaths here. Good, and on your next inhale, you lift the heels. Hips stay high, knees bend, look forwards. And then for this first one, nice and slow, sort of tiptoe, walk to the hands. Halfway lift on your inhale. Hands on the earth, maybe shins to find that full sense of being parallel with the ground. And then exhale to fold. Nice slow release. Be willing to soften the knees. Now again, halfway lift to fill. Exhale, fold. Good. Now all the way up for extended mountain. So nice big reach, arms forwards or out to the sides. When you get there, draw the gaze towards the fingertips. Take another breath in and out. And try not to let the ribs flare too much in the front body. One more breath in. And then fold forwards. Stay here, breath in. Stay here, breath out. Halfway lift, fill up. Stay here, empty. Back of the neck is long, breath in, so there's a tiny tuck of the chin to the chest. And then we fold. Breath in, breath out. One more time, extended mountain rise. Stay here and empty. Breath in, fold forwards. Halfway lift. Hands plant, right foot goes back to lunge, right? So you want this sense of that left knee stacked over the left ankle. Really light in the hands. I'm up high on the ball of the back foot. Sometimes though it's the heel reaches a little bit more towards the earth. Right? You can always take the hands inside that front foot for a little more space. And if you're kind of feeling the fire already, stay folded towards the earth, but maybe play with the arms reaching forwards, back, or even hands at prayer, just so you know the legs are doing all the work. Right, my thighs are plugged into the center line, so it's really strong. It's one more breath. And then the hands land. Right, now try to lift that left foot before you step back. Nice long spine, navel drawing in. Good, now let's drop the knees. So just beginning to build. Nice big breath in, it's not table, my hips are further forwards, and it's a halfway lower, elbows brush ribs. Right, press back up. And a halfway lower. Good, one more time, back up. Last halfway lower, so this is your chaturanga, right? We'll take another breath, and then all the way to the earth. Top of the feet, release. I'm hugging my elbows into the sides, hands are lightly on the earth. So it's an inhale to lift, back of the neck stays long, and it's an exhale to release. Two more times, so inhale, lift, you can see it's the body doing the work, not the hands. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, heart lifts. And release. Good. Tuck the toes. Knees press back into the earth if you can. Front of my hip bones lift. We're coming back up to chaturanga. So it's a breath in. Finding that low chaturanga. And then tabletop pose. Cow pose to fill. Heart lifts. Cat pose to empty. Inhale, cow pose. Down dog, press up and back. Big breath in. As you empty, draw navel to spine. Drop the knees for cow pose. Lift the heart. Cat pose to empty. Cow pose, breath in. It's slow, down dog. Big fill. Empty navel to spine. One last time, knees land, heart lifts, cow pose. Cat pose to empty, so you already be building some heat. Cow pose here, big breath in. Down dog to empty. Good, we stay, fill up. Empty navel to spine. This time lift the heels to fill. Knees bend, look forwards, and you walk or step to the hands. Still nice and strong. Halfway lift here, big breath in. Exhale, fold and empty, knees can soften. Right? Extended mountain, arms sweep forwards or out to the sides. Find what works in the shoulders. We fold forwards, exhale. Halfway lift, fill. Hands plant, left foot goes back to lunge, right? Strong step, find your stance, right? Be willing to find that sense of deep enough in the lunge that the hips come down in line with that front knee. Hands inside the front foot for a little bit of space. And some of you, maybe craving the fire already, are gonna fly the arms, right? Keeping in mind, if you practiced with me before, there's gonna be some fire in this one anyway, right? But trust yourself here. One more breath. Plant the hands, right? Rooting into the ground, trying to get that right foot off the mat before you step back to plank. Staying on the toes, or again, dropping the knees, right? So we want to move in a straight, strong line. So really, you find the place that works. It's just one lower. So it's a big breath in. It's a halfway lower to pause, still in chaturanga. You're going to come all the way to the earth for cobra, or you're going to lift into up dog here. So up dog, just the feet and hands on the earth, shoulders stacked over wrists, rolling shoulders down and away from the ears, legs are strong, whichever pose you're in. One more breath. And then from the navel, drawing up and back to down dog. A few more breaths here. So keep in mind the transitions matter, right? As we move through our practice, you want to think of, practice is meant to show up on the mat first and then out in the world. And we are building this sense of being present in transition, right? Not just in the places we're trying to get to. Right, so make it slow. On your next inhale, lift the heels. And as you exhale, bend the knees, look forwards, and walk, step, or hop top of the mat. It's a halfway lift, fill up. And it's an exhale to fold all the way up, extended mountain. Let's find a sun A here, fold forwards. Halfway lift to fill. Hands plant, high to low plank, or all the way to the earth on the exhale, but it's a straight, strong line. Right? Take a back bend on the inhale. If it's cobra, make sure the quads stay on the earth. Right? Elbows slightly bent. And then if you aren't there already, on the exhale, press up and back to down dog, trying to find strength in transitions. Another breath. Good. Heels lift, fill up. Knees bend, look forwards. Walk, step, or hop top of the mat. Halfway lift. Fold forwards. All the way up. All the way fold. Halfway lift. Slow, long breath. Hands plant, right foot back to lunge. This time we rise. So you could always choose right knee on the earth for a low lunge, right? You get a deeper stretch in that quad probably that way, but if you're ready for it, it's high lunge here. Thighs are plugged in, right? Some of us, this back knee is bent to get the shoulders over the hips. Some of us ready to straighten that leg, right? You can find a nice long stance here, and you want this sense of anchoring the hips, pulling the body up and out of the space of the hips here. Right, my inner elbows are reaching without hiking my shoulders towards my ears. Navel to spine on the out, so we're still stoking that fire in the center of the body here. One more breath in, find more reach, keep those hips steady, and then we fold. Right hand will stay grounded, left hand will start at the hip. Right, twist from the navel, turn it towards the inner left thigh as you stack the shoulders. Try to keep this left hip drawing down as the right hip rises here. Right? Maybe left hand to the low back as you press back into that shoulder. Maybe the arm extended for the sky. Right? Keep in mind the destination isn't the purpose. It's bringing the body out here in the twist and finding stability and strength. Another breath. Good. And then that left hand lands. We'll drop the right foot for warrior two. So parallel with the back of the mat. My left heel here is pretty much lined up with the arch of my back foot, but that's not an exact alignment for everyone. I'm going to transition nice and slow, so I'm going to find the reach first, keep my left knee steady, and then warrior two. Ooh, you can see it's hard to get that front knee over the ankle. It's powerful, and don't let that front arm pull you forwards. Shoulders settle over hips. Right? Use this pose to draw the spine long as you draw the fingers away from each other here. It's a big reach. Right, if you need something different in the shoulders, try palms to the sky. One more breath. And straightening the front leg. Reaching forwards, front hip will drop. When I can't go any further, it's a nice, strong transition into triangle pose. So gaze can be down to the side or up, depending on the neck. I want you to think of so much strength in the center of the body that the pose won't change if you bring hands to prayer at the heart. Right, root through the pinky edge side of your right foot. You want that inner arch to be alive, and draw the crown further forwards. Good. 2 more breaths. And we'll draw up nice and strong, front arm forwards first, maybe warrior 2. Now side angle pose. Little reach forwards, front forearm starts in the front thigh. Right arm starts up, and then eventually along the ear. So you can see I'm building a long line from the pinky edge side of that right foot to the right fingertips. Right? Try to keep that front knee stacking over the ankle. And if you're like me, the shoulder's going to try to rise towards the ear. You want to draw it down the back. Right? If you have space already, bring that left hand inside the foot and use the arm to press into the knee, knee into the arm. Another breath. Good, back to warrior 2. And then straighten the front leg, toes turn in. We'll take warrior 2 on the second side. All right, so it may feel different. We don't have that high lunge on this side. That's fine. We got lots of time to build. Just notice maybe the sameness and difference here. All right, fingertips still pulling away. I'm drawing the crown of the head towards the sky, especially on the exhale. All right, still stoking that fire with the navel drawing in towards the spine. Another breath. Good. And then I straighten my front leg. My left pinky edge side of that left foot is anchored. Reach forwards. This hip drops, right? You're going to feel the inner leg catch me here. When I can't reach forward anymore, just dropping the right arm. So again, this pose is strong enough that hands could find prayer at the heart, right? Eventually the hand can find the earth, right shoulder sliding away from the ear. You do want to think of building the pose before worrying about where you get the hand. Couple more breaths. And twisting from the navel, so it's not exaggerated. You don't want to collapse back. Another breath here. Good, back to warrior 2. And then we'll take side angle pose. So a little reach forwards, that front forearm lands on the thigh or hand inside the foot. Right, you start with the left arm up, but as you build this pose, that full extended variation takes the arm overhead. Right, rooting through the pinky edge side of the left foot to draw long, and then I'm twisting from the navel and center of the chest here to open and lengthen through the top side of the body. One more breath. Good, back to warrior 2. Nice big breath in. And then plant the hands on either side of the right foot. And we'll step the left foot forwards next to the right. So now we're facing the back of the mat. Halfway lift here, nice big breath in. Exhale, fold. Come all the way up, extended mountain, nice big reach. Fold forwards here. Halfway lift, fill. Left foot back to lunge. High or low here, up to you. Nice and strong, right? So find some length. Ribs in the front body knit in, so you can see mine like to flare out, but trying to really contain this pose, right? Hips are anchored in place. I'm drawing the body long out of the space of the pelvis here. My inner elbows or inner arms are lengthening towards the sky. My fingers, same thing. One more breath. And then fold. Good. Left hand stays. Try to stay steady in the hips. Right hand starts at the right hip. Rotating the navel towards the inner right thigh as I work to stack the shoulders. Right? My right foot is anchored. My right knee is staying over the ankle. Right? You can shift the right hand to the low back or find the reach. Right? So my right hip is trying to rise. I'm trying to drop that outer right hip as the left hip lifts. I'm looking over like you are all in the same room with me. All right, right hand lands inside that right foot. I feel like you are. Left foot lands for warrior two. All right, that foot is anchored and strong. I'm going to extend first and then draw the body up. Whew. Again, palms can flip towards the sky. It's powerful in that front leg. Be willing to stay in the discomfort. That's where you're going to learn something about yourself here. Take another breath. Good. Straighten the front leg. Triangle pose again. This hip drops. Reach forwards, and then the right hand lands. This time, let's take the arm along the ear. So finding a little bit of that extension or lateral stretch in triangle pose. Right? Gaze up to the side or maybe down. Good. So we'll take the arm back up. We'll extend the right arm forwards and then come up for warrior two. Breath in and out. Now side angle pose. Reach forwards, forearm to thigh or hand inside that foot as you extend. Right? Press that top shoulder back in space. Breathe deep into your left lung. Press firmer through the pinky edge side of that left foot. Another breath. Ooh, warrior two. And then straighten the front leg, toes turn in. Nice big breath in. So pinky edge side of the feet matches the short edge of the mat. We'll take a wide leg fold here. Try to keep your hips in line with your heels. So you need to pull the body forwards into the fold instead of just shooting the hips back in space. Maybe halfway, find a breath to lengthen the body and then fold. Chin drops towards the chest. Right, hands start under shoulders. Eventually they come back in between the feet. Wrists, elbows, and shoulders in line. I'm anchoring through the whole foot on each side. Right, sits bones rising towards the sky as I sort of tip forwards and my navel's drawing through the body towards the ceiling. 3 more breaths here. Good, hands come back under shoulders, halfway lift. Right, hands to the hips, or if you want a little more of a challenge, we're going to take 3 big breaths here, extend the arms forwards. A little softening in the knees is okay. Just stirring up some energy, pull the fingers forwards, tailbone back, last breath. Ooh, and then we come all the way up. Warrior two, second side. So if you're like me now, definitely starting to build some heat here. Right? Reach that front knee forwards. Make sure it's opening towards the pinky edge side of that foot so I can see my big toe when I look down. Good. Last time through like this. So triangle first. We'll reach forwards. Right? Left arm down, right arm reaching. Right? Both legs strong. And then if it works in the body, find the lateral stretch. You can see it's going to round the top side of my body. That's fine. Right? Really taking care of the neck with this one. I'm pressing even firmer through the pinky edge side of that right foot. So my foundation is steady. Last breath. For warrior two. And then one more time, side angle. Left hand lands, right arm reaches, finding that nice big length here. Good, one more breath. Warrior two. Big breath in and out, and then hands land, and I'll step the right foot forwards next to the left. Right, about inner hip width between my feet. Peace fingers are going to grab the big toes. Right, I'm going to start by softening my knees and connecting my stomach to my thighs. A nice big breath in, and then I'll draw the elbows towards the side. My shoulders slide away from the ears, and I tip forwards a little bit here. Right, sits bones are rising. Knees may or may not get straight in this one. Good, another breath. Ooh, then release the hands, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step the right foot back, high lunge, big breath in. Yeah, bring the hands out in front. So shoulders stack over hips, knit the ribs in the front of the body. Nice big breath in. We're going to twist towards that inner left thigh, so front leg. Left hand starts or stops at the shoulder, or if you have space, extend it back. Don't let that right arm pull you forwards. Really try to keep the shoulders stacked over the hips here. 2 breaths. Good. Left arm forwards to inhale. Warrior two to open. Breath in and out. Good. Straighten your front leg. Take that left arm straight up. Right arm is going to come down the side. We're just going to move a little bit here. So take a big breath in. And when you exhale, we'll come into triangle pose. So the left arm comes down. When you inhale, right arm comes up, sweeps overhead. Exhale, take it back. And inhale, come back up. We'll do that 2 more times. So exhale, left arm drops. Inhale, right arm overhead. Exhale, right arm releases. Inhale, left arm up. 1 more time through. So exhale. Inhale. Slow those breaths down. Exhale. Good. Breath in. And now we're going to come into side angle pose. Bend that front knee and we'll stay. Right arm along the ear. And start to find your twist here. We're going to move a little bit more. So really power up and anchor the legs. My left knee's over that ankle and I'm pressing into the inner left knee with the bicep, knee back into the bicep, bicep into knee. Big breath in, and when you exhale, bend the right elbow and see if you can twist a little more towards the sky. In. Let's do 3 more. Exhale, twist. Good. In, so you want to feel this along the top side of the body. Exhale, twist, rotating from the navel and ribs. 1 more. In, 2, twist, big breath out, find the pause. Inhale. Good. Come back up, warrior 2. Big breath in and out. Plant the hands. Drop the right knee down. Good. Low lunge. So hands on that front thigh, back toes on the earth, or the toes tucked under. Right. If you're feeling steady and you can keep the hips sinking forwards as you plug the thighs in, feel free to reach the arms. We'll take just a couple breaths. See if you can contain the breath in the heart. Keep the navel hugging towards the back body here. Right? And maybe with that expansion in the heart, awareness drifts down into that space. Good. So hands to prayer at the heart. Take a nice big breath to lengthen. We'll twist towards the left. So a couple options. If you have space, your right elbow comes to the outer left knee. Might make more sense to bring the right hand to the outer knee and the left hand to the low back. Right? If you have the right upper arm on that outer left knee, you could, as you twist the heart towards the thumb, stay low in the hips and lift. 2 more breaths. Good. Unwind. Woo. Plant the hands. Let's take half splits. Sit the hips back. They stop over that left knee, and you're just going to fold forwards here. Two more breaths. So that front foot is flexed, left knee is straight, and I'm trying to make sure my hips stay square. Good. Bending into the front knee. Nice slow step forwards. Fill up. And empty to fold. All the way up for extended mountain here. All the way forwards. Halfway lift to fill. Hands plant, left foot goes back to lunge, right? High lunge here, nice big breath in. Yeah, pause here, find that steadiness in the legs, make sure the feet are wide enough, and then the hands drop down in line with the shoulders. It's a nice big breath in, and when you exhale, twisting to the right now. So the right hand can stop in line with the right shoulder, or maybe you find the full extension. Right, try to really lengthen the body here. 2 more breaths. Last one. Good. Right arm comes forwards. Big breath in. We'll come into warrior 2 to empty. Again, check in with the stance first. And then we'll find this little movement in triangle. I didn't say this yet, but triangle can be shorter than warrior 2, so you can always inch that front foot or back foot in a little. Good. So the front leg straightens, the right arm comes up, left hand starts along that back thigh. Big breath in, and then we exhale to come into triangle. It's an inhale to sweep that left arm along the ear. It's an exhale to take it back along the side. And it's an inhale to extend the right arm forwards and rise. Good. Exhale, fold. Triangle. Inhale. Good, slow breaths out. This is a chance to get really present in transition. In. One more time. Exhale, slow, slow, slow. Right, find the pause. Watch yourself be. Exhale. Inhale. Now side angle pose. Exhale. Right, find your strength here, and you can always stay steady, but we're going to try to open the side body a little more. Nice big breath in. As you exhale, left elbow bends, and there's a bigger twist towards the sky. In. 3 more. Exhale. Good. This should be fiery. Navel to spine. Last one. Big reach. Exhale. Nice work. Arm forwards. Coming up, warrior 2. Big breath in. Woo. Plant the hands for low lunge. Woo. Hands to that front thigh if you'd like. Find what you want for that back foot. At any point, the arms can extend, and for just a few breaths, we're drawing the body long away from that front thigh. Now we'll twist. Hands can start at the heart. Big breath in, rotating to the right. Either right hand to the low back and left hand to that outer thigh, or if you'd like, hooking the upper left arm outside that right knee. At any point, you can find some fire here by lifting the back knee, straightening that leg, twisting the heart even more fully towards the thumbs. Good. And then we slowly unwind, plant the hands and step forwards. Now let's find the fold here again. You can either grab peace fingers to big toes. Some of you here are gonna have space for Padahastasana. Palms turn up, we slide the feet or the hands under the feet, toes come to the wrist, and we take our fold from here. Still working elbows out, still drawing shoulders away from the ears. Right, sits bones still rising as I tip forwards, trust myself here. Also get a little love for the wrists in this one. And when you're ready, release. Yeah, a little sway, little love, little softness. And then let's curl all the way up to standing. Just a chance to find some relief through the back body. Couple breaths here. So just finding some stillness, right? Maybe noticing how you feel in this mountain pose. Maybe notice the quality of the mind. And on your next inhale, extend the arms up and overhead. On your exhale, fold forwards. Slow breaths. Halfway lift, fill up. Just fold. Extended mountain rise. Fold forwards. Be present, halfway lift. And fold. Last time, extended mountain, not just present. Watch yourself be present. Right? Both the doer and the one watching everything unfold. Halfway lift to fill. Hands plant, chaturanga, or all the way lower. Right? Back bend on the inhale, 3 breaths. Legs are strong. If it's cobra, a little bend in the elbows at least. Shoulders roll down and away from the ears. Maybe the throat opens. Slow breaths, fill the heart. Last in, and then down dog. Soften the knees if you need to. Take a few breaths here. Good, and then next inhale, lift the heels, and as you exhale, bend the knees, look forwards. We'll find a seat, hop, step, or walk. Whew. So from your seat, legs can be forwards, and just take a few breaths. Drop your hands to your thighs, little tuck of the chin to the chest. So just notice before we do our last few poses here, how you're feeling, sort of what you've landed with after all that. Important to acknowledge what we cultivate in our practice so that we can be more aware of how we take it with us into the world. Good. So we'll come into a forward fold. Big toe mounds touching. My heels are reaching away. My pinky edge side of my feet is energetically drawing towards me. The back or the low back is long. So if you find that you're trying to start from here, sit up on a pillow or a thick blanket so that you can tip the hips forwards and get an equal stretch through the legs and the back body here. My arms can extend up and overhead, or you can walk them down alongside you. Nice big breath in, and then fold forwards. Find the length, right? Pull the heart towards the toes. My stomach is drawing to my thighs. So it's a front body lengthener, not just a collapse to get somewhere. Right? Once the hands find the depth of their reach, you can land them alongside the legs, grab the ankles, or maybe you grab the feet. Right? Use the breaths in to lengthen front body and the breaths out to lay yourself down a little deeper here. Good, another breath. And then slowly rise up. Good, take your left hand to your outer right thigh, your right hand behind you. Just lift the spine and twist gently towards the right. Right, chin can stay in line with the center of the chest or come fully into the twist. Right, so my shoulders are still over hips. Good, unwind through center. Gentle twist to the other side, right hand to the outer thigh, nice big lengthen, and then twisting this way. Good. So back through center. Right, so always an option just to take this in steps. I'm going to give lots of options here so that we can play around with one last pose. You'll notice I can't get into the full variation of this one, but it's fun to try. So you're going to bring your right hand to your outer left calf, and you can see my palm is facing out. So it's the back of the hand on that leg. Right? And you can start with the left hand on the low back or even anchored behind you. Just make sure the shoulder doesn't rise. Right? You really got to make sure that this right leg doesn't shoot forward. So there's energy zipping up my legs. It's a nice big breath in. And when you exhale, you're just going to keep that hand pressing firmly into the leg. You're going to feel the shoulders working hard as you slide down. Inhale, back up. Yeah, 3 more times. Exhale, reach. Back up. 2 more. Exhale, reach. Good. 1 more, we're going to hold. So as you exhale, right arm slides down. You can keep the hand pressing into the foot, or you can flip the palm down or palm in towards the pinky edge side of the foot and grab hold. If you're really open, this elbow is going to sit on that outer leg. Whew. Good. So, option to stay left hand to the low back, or maybe that left arm reaches overhead. It's a nice big breath in, and you exhale, twist, bend that elbow. Good. 3 more. In and out. Good. 2 in and out. Last time, in and out. Good. Now we'll reach and stay. So again, find your variation. Right? You could always catch the head in that hand and just relax in the twist. Eventually your left hand grabs the pinky edge side of this foot and the body stays rotated underneath. Whew, it's hard to breathe here. Right, so you don't want to sacrifice breath for a pose, so you just want to make sure you're finding what works here. Right, so be honest, be accountable, be curious. Right, notice if it's a morning to challenge yourself or a morning to take space. Take another breath. Whew. And a slow release up and out of that pose. Good, so we'll come to the second side. Last bit of work this morning. So left hand comes to the outer right calf. Back of the hand is on the inner leg. My palm is facing out, right? Hand or right hand at the low back or on the earth. Nice big breath in. Keep those feet and heels in line. Exhale, slide the hand down towards the foot. Inhale, back up. Exhale, slide, pressing into the leg. Good. In Exhale down. Last one, in, and we'll hold. Exhale down to stay. So you can keep the back of the hand pressing into the foot, or you can flip the palm back. The thumb would point down and you grab the pinky edge side of that left foot. Right? So if you have a lot of mobility, that left elbow is going to be on the outer calf. Right? I'm not quite there. That's okay. And we'll take the right arm up and overhead. Nice big breath in. Exhale, twist, elbow bends. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Keep that left heel in line with the right. 2 more. In. Be willing to twist. Squeeze from the navel. 1 more. In and twist. Good. You can stay. You can catch the head in the right hand to the low back, or maybe if you have space, the right hand finds the pinky edge side of that right foot and you find the rotation here. So the full variation would have me really open, shoulders stacked. My body would be much longer, but it's one of those ones that takes a long time to build. Right, drop into the center of yourself here. Wherever you are, just breathe. Let go of ambition. Be in the strength or the space. Right, the struggle or the ease. 2 more breaths. And then a nice slow unwind up. Right, get caught up in the aftermath for a few breaths here. A little tuck of the chin to the chest. Good. Soft knees. We'll come down to the back of the body here. So this isn't about ambition. We're not building a back bend. We're finding release here. Hands along the earth, feet anchored. We'll just sort of find a counter pose to all that folding. So just slowly before we move, let the knees drift from side to side. You know, it might not be necessary for all of you, but sometimes nice just because we don't know who's with us right now or what's going on in everybody's body. We want to make sure we take care, right? So once you found a really good release for the low back, we're just going to counter with a tiny bit of back bending. It's super gentle here, right? So the shoulders anchor down, the arms anchor down. You take a breath in and you just root through the feet and lift the hips. It's really slow. It's really gentle. I'm not trying to find my biggest back bend. And then on the exhale, I roll the spine down onto the earth. All right, do 3 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Right, so my glutes are really like 30% firing. My inner thighs are rotating towards the earth. Right, and then the last one will stay. So the hands anchored down again, like I'm not, maybe 70% of my highest bridge, maybe really not even 60. Two more breaths. And then a slow release, right? Feet come wide, knees drop into center. If there's a lot of energy in the low back still, maybe hug the knees into the heart. Right, some of you love happy baby, some of us not so much. That's an option here. And then we'll just find some stillness. So you can either stretch out long, right? Legs long, arms wide, palms to the sky. You want to think of the feet wide enough that if you turn the toes in, they don't come to touching. Some of you here would prefer to move into a seat. Maybe you have a regular morning meditation practice. Now might be a good time for it. Or if you don't, maybe now's a good time to start. Right? Wherever you are though, open to the earth. And allow yourself to let your guard down here. Right? Allow yourself to be caught and carried and cradled. Right? Whole body surrenders into this moment. And in that surrender, right, you become a little more yourself. A little closer to that deepest and oldest truth, right? That part of us that is steady and eternal, right? The part we're trying to remember every time we step on our mats. So that we remember it a little more fully every time we step off of them back into the world. And allow yourself to be here, fully whole and complete. And stay as long as you need to before you move on with your day. As always, I hope you got something you needed, something that served you, and something that you can carry with you through the rest of your day.